Hello there, it's a good morning to you if you just joined us here on the show. This is Prime Morning and time for us to get into News Flash. As always, we'll talk about issues that concerns you, issues that concerns national development and many other things that would definitely want you to be a part of. You can do so by going on our social media page on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can put your comments over there. We're going to be reading them in real time. And I'll be telling you the issues we'll be discussing this morning in a couple of minutes. I've already done that in a few, but I'm going to be telling you so you can also just send in your comments. And don't forget, News Flash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Franco Trading Enterprise is telling you that if you're out there and you're looking forward to having the very quality phones that you can always have, is the place you have to be. Now, there are so many things going on in the world right now that you want to be able to have quality stuff, because if you don't have them, it's definitely going to go against you. Imagine wasting your money on something that will not last long. Now, you don't want to find yourself in that situation, and that's the reason why Franco Trading Enterprise is asking you to come to us. We're the leading, company when it comes to accessories, when it comes to phone, when it comes to electronic retail outlet, and this is the place that you have to be. We've got Nokia, we've got Samsung, we've got iPhones, we've got smart TVs that range from 32 to 55 inches that you can buy from us, tabletop fridges, and also Franco Air conditions that we have, which ranges from 1.5 horsepower, we've got 2.0 horsepower, we've got 2.5 horsepower as well. You can buy from us. Now, if you're looking forward to monitoring your house, your offices, your environment, to make sure that every single activity that happens over there, you're able to see it, right on your phone, Franco Trading Enterprise is the place to go. We've got CCTV cameras that we're selling. You can monitor it anywhere, anytime, and everywhere. You understand? So it's pretty simple. All you need to do is to make sure that you actually give us a call. Now, there's a good thing that I'll be telling you about what Franco Trading Enterprise is doing. I'll shelve that for now, but just stay on the show. There's something special that Franco Trading Enterprise is doing that I'll be sharing with you. Once you get that information, you've got the power in your hands. But you can actually give us a call on 0246 422 338. That's 0246 422 338 or 0555 939311. 0555 939311. That's the numbers you can call Franco Trading Enterprise on. Or do not do business with anybody on Google and when they come and they say it's Franco Trading Enterprises, blah, blah, blah. No, please give us a call. Or you can go on Google Play App Store and then you just download the Franco Trading app. It's pretty simple. It's just Franco Trading app. When you type that, it will pop up and then you can actually download it so you can get all the information you need over there. You can deal with us directly over there as well. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and that's where you can also find us and do business with us. Once again, do not do business or pick numbers from Google and call and say you're talking to Franco Trading Enterprise. No. Our numbers 0555 939311 will do justice to all the issues that you have and all the purchases that you want to make, all right? It's that pretty simple. So please do well and do business with us. All right, so don't forget, once again, the show, News Flash, is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise Phone. Fear. We're going to go into the front page of the newspapers, and then I'll introduce my guests in the studio to you, as always, and then we'll get into the issues. Now, picketing by members of the National Association of Institutional Suppliers of our unpaid monies that are owned by the Ministry of Education have actually gone on protest. Now they are actually giving up that protest, but we'll find out exactly why the protest even began in the first place and what exactly the future looks like when it comes to that monies that we owe them. Now they believe that the government actually had some contracts with them that were supposed to be awarded, that which it didn't come, and also some money is owed, over 100 million Ghana cedis that has not been also paid as well, and it's the reason why they decided to stage that protest. Now that conversation happened sometime in March 26th, and we're hoping that engagements would have come and monies would have been paid as at Monday, but that didn't happen, and so the protest happened, and well, it looks like they're going to be giving up on that protest. We're going to be looking at the merit of that issue as well. Government is also looking forward to launching what they call the tracker that would help them, put out projects of government so that individuals and citizens can actually go there and see what's happening. They call it the government tracker, and it's going to be launched tomorrow at Gimpa by His Excellency, the President of the country. Now, you can send your messages to some of these issues that we'll be talking about, and also we'll be looking at the issue of the allegations of houses that have been brought down, demolished by the brother of the sitting second lady. We're going to be having to speak to some of the people involved and see what exactly the issue is, and moving forward what we can do with regards to that as well. So these are more coming up right here on the show. You need to stay with us. And I'm sure yesterday many of the conversations have gone around, the sites have come up and all of that, but we would want to still find out exactly what this whole issue is all about. And so let's get into it a bit later. But then we'll check into the front pages of the newspapers this morning, and I'll be starting off with the Daily Graphic. And the Daily Graphic this morning is reporting on the front page, voters registration, May 7 to 27, and SAL included in exercise as well. So it's all set for this year's voters registration exercise. You need to make sure you're part of this exercise, and the EC has come out to speak on that. So do well to get all the info you need so you can also know where exactly you stand and when it comes to voting in December. Now, GRA Commissioner General intervenes. First batch HIV drugs out on Friday. Page 13 has got a story on that. Effective justice delivery strategy launched, and the framework anchored on tech, speed, transparency. Greater Accra RCC endorses GL sanitation ranking. That's also on the front page of the Daily Graphic. At the back page, Ghana, Burkina Faso to resolve distorted boundaries in Upper West region. That's also captured by the Daily Graphic. Now, Zango youth admonished to refrain from violent acts. That also at the back page of the Daily Graphic this morning. You can get a copy of it and read all about it. And yes, away from that, Daily Guide is here, and it's also reporting on the SHS, and it says SHS enrollment goes high. It's got the Education Minister captured on the front page, and the Ghana Guinea-Bissau to open joint commission for cooperation. That also has been captured by the Daily Guide this morning. Now, GRA boss pledges deep client engagement, and Julie XCM has been captured on the front page of Daily Guide. And let's make VIB president, says Sami Awuku. That's also on the front page of the Daily Guide. Now, away from that, Bawumia launches CJ's lead-in justice initiatives. And it's got the Chief Justice and Bawumia captured on the front page of the Daily Guide this morning. Now, let's go into the middle pages somewhere and see what we can find on some other issues. And total solar eclipse races across North America. Yesterday it happened, and some people who were actually able to see it were very excited about it. You always have to be excited about some of these things. How nature actually plays out some of the occurrences. Now, Nigerian solo driver completes trip from London to Lagos, and also Kenyan doctors dismiss president's plea to end strike. That's also captured by the Daily Guide today. And away from that, let me see if we can get other stories on entertainment. I don't resort to juju. Sama Momin speaks on that. And the Jennifer Diaries are just dead. And that's also captured in the middle page of Daily Guide. Now, World Bank projects economic slowdown. That's also captured in the middle page of the Daily Guide. And ECG intensifies transformers substations monitoring. Away from that, Homo Marathon fixed for August. And Dreams FC coach installs Kurt. TT Brothers supports Tema SOS. I have personal beef with Haaland. That's Antonio Rudiger. The back page of the Daily Guide this morning. Let's get into the Ghanaian Times. On the front page, it says $40 million donated, drugs locked up at port. CSO networks appeal for president's intervention. And wager DVLA generates over 8,626,620 Ghana cedis in first quarter 2024. 9 arrested for peddling fake news about genitals disappearance. And Chief Justice launches blueprint to transform judiciary. That's also captured on the front page of the Ghanaian Times this morning. Let's unite in rejecting military takeovers, President Akufo-Addo to African leaders. And that's the front page of the Ghanaian Times. And the back page qualification will propel us to find out Coach Zito And aspiring parliamentary candidate supports Sagnirugu's community with boreholes, dredging of dams to improve access to potable water. Now, Hearts target win over Mediama and some sports over there. That will be a wrap on the Ghanaian Times. Now we'll move on to the new finder. It says stronghold or swing region, a big question mark over there. And it's a street fight between Natoshi and Napo for running mate. Price floors to address unhealthy competition, MPA, and the Ghana Guinea-Bissau forge stronger economic and political ties. President assents to Wildlife Management Resources Bill 2022. It's got Abujina Honorable captured over there on the front page of the new finder. The very last one will be the Economic Times, and it says that trade surplus dips. NPA reverses suspension of price stabilization and recovery levy on petroleum products. And away from that, government raises cocoa farm gate price to 58%. That's also captured by the Economic Times this morning. And that will be all for the newspapers this morning here on Newsflash, proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise from Papa Fie. And you can still do business with us with quality product that we have. If you're looking for Nokia, Samsung phones, iPhones, and accessories. Now, the accessories, we're giving you 40% discount on every accessory that you buy. And that's quite interesting, all right? So just do well and make sure that you're getting yours. Now, give us a call. 0555-939311, 0555-939311, 0246-422-338 is the number you can call Franco Trading Enterprise on, and our website is www.francotrading.com. And please do not go on Google and take any number there and call. These are scammers that you want to avoid. And so do well to call our numbers that we're giving out to you or visit our website. And it's pretty simple. You can always do so. All right. Let me introduce my guest in the studio this morning, and then we'll begin the conversation here on the many issues that we want to talk about today. So we start off. Honorable Timothy Ataboadey Awontirim is here with me this morning. He's a former MP, Bulsa constituency, and representing the NDC. Honorable, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, KMJ, and I'm doing fine. We thank God for his mercies, for his favors, and good life.
And let me say a big thank you to your wife, a special thank you to your wife,
yes,
for giving me the smoke that I had. Used to MC an event on Saturday. Everybody loved it. God bless her, and thank you so much for delivering. And of course, your
Mine
daughter,
is still standing.
Your daughter too.
My daughter used her National Service Allowance and did the smoke for
me. Yes. And
said
she was inspired by the mother.
Yeah, she was definitely, and that she would do some for her aunties too.
Very well.
Yes. So.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thanks to her. I mean, I owe you a lot.
Yeah.
It's not easy. The allowance,
it has not also come.
You see,
when it doesn't come, they intentionally put some spokes on their way and say they should go and do that. It's the money that is not there. So they will delay these kids. I'll go and do this thing. When you can, they say this thing is not correct. Simply, there's no money.
There's no money.
Them. You see.
Anyway, thanks for making time for us this morning. We appreciate you. Honorable Aye-Paye Samuel is here with us, former MP Ayesiano constituency and a member of the NPP communications team, joining us this morning as well. Honorable is also a family to this family as well. Honorable, thank you so much for making time. Good morning.
You are welcome. How do you mention the current Senegalese president name?
Oh, Osman
Faye.
Faye.
So how is it that when you remove F and put P there, it makes it very difficult for Ghanaians to pronounce my name? So because I've been hearing Faye.
Faye.
And then Pay.
Yeah.
Pay. So my name is Pay. It's not Faye.
Oh, okay.
So
how is the name spelled?
P-A-Y-E.
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 Okay.
And then Senegalese pronounce F-A-Y-E.
Pay.
Pay.
So yours is Pay.
His is Pay.
Okay. Wait. I'm tempted to ask where you got it.
Well, my name is Aye. Pay. Actually, the original name is Aye Opey.
Oh.
And it's a Kwapim's name.
Okay.
My great grandfather was a scholar. You know, those days were difficult getting scholars among the Ghanaian. And he was working with some British and some Indians. And they corrupted the name.
Yeah.
Instead of him to correct them, he also adopted it.
Yeah.
And my grandfather adopted it. And my father adopted it.
Yeah.
It has now become, I wanted to change it, but you know, Ghana, as soon as you change your name and somebody pick your certificate, he has gone to buy some certificate. It's not for him. That is why his name is
argue
different.
over and over again.
And also, apart from that, my family members, cousins. So when you change yours alone,
It's big.
my grandfather being a commissioner, how do you call it? District commissioner.
That was how they used to call them.
I also used the surname to get some votes in 2008 elections when I was entering. So when they hear Aye-Paye, are you the son of DCP? I say, no, I'm the grandchild. Oh, we'll vote for you. That man was a very good person.
Yeah.
So changing the name became a bit difficult for me, and I decided to adopt it. And my children
It's
well.
okay.
It's unique.
Once you know the history, it's good. It is when the history is murky and you cannot trace it.
Like you're
that
explaining
becomes
yours right now.
So
But once you know it,
what they did was removing the O and it becomes P.
Which he also couldn't correct at the time. Just left it like that.
So that is that origin of my name.
Yeah. It's a Nigerian Nollywood actor, Segun Arinze. He's not even Segun Arinze, the man with the bulky eyes. He's Segun Aye-Paye.
Wow.
And also the same story also happened with him. He went for audition, somebody said, we want to give you Segun Arinze.
Correcting it becomes a bit difficult. I decided to keep it like this. This is my first time of coming to your program. And the studio,
great.
you have a very nice, beautiful studio. I've been watching you home, though. Especially when my
your good friend
brother from the other side, who should have joined
your side, right?
Yes.
Mischievous.
You see, not mischievous. In fact, when you look at an MPP person and an NDC person, there's certain behavior, certain things that we see from them. Whether you tell the person that I'm NDC or MPP, once you start to behave, you start talking, this man might be MPP. And this man, the way he is, I don't know what he's doing over there in NDC.
Look at
Come and join us.
Look at
him. Gentleman,
come and join
highly
the party
educated, very level-headed. Come home.
Do you know the quality of people we have?
Come home.
I don't want to start.
You are supposed to be with us. So I'm inviting you. It's not.
It's a special invitation.
Join. Come home.
Anyway.
And you know he's a Guan.
Is what?
I know the Guan. You are a Guan from the north.
Yeah.
And then Guan said, I can't say, when you go travel way, he's supposed to be with them people.
Forget about it. My people know.
You need to
and
think
he
about
knows
it.
that. No.
He's a Guan.
How? Even the history, where I came from, my antecedent, does not allow me to belong to them people.
Mention his name. His name is Thomas.
Not Timothy.
Timothy Ataboadey.
Yes, I want
Can't you send some
No, there's no nothing. There is that
pronunciation
Ataboadey.
Yes.
Ataboadey.
It's the name, the original name is just like mine. The original name is Timothy Ataboadey.
Okay, so let's begin our conversation. Send us your messages, let us know. Our WhatsApp line is open, so you can just drop your messages there and we'll read from you as we go on. Now, members of the National Association of Institutional Suppliers have actually decided to go on protest with someone who's owed them over 100 million. That's owed them, and some contract that we're hoping that will be awarded to them that has not also come as well. The Ministry of Education has come into that fold again. And Honorable, I keep saying that the Ministry of Education, anytime that they make a step forward, in changing something drags them back again.
Yeah.
And it continues to happen day in and day out. What's going on with that ministry?
Yes, let me say good morning to your good self and to my brother Aye-Paye, who is this morning just ranting and asking that my name should be changed for Ataboadey. I don't know what it is, but let me say good morning to our viewers out there and so on. You see, the Ministry of Education is perpetually having problems that if they are honest to the people of this country, they can really resolve the matters. And to whosoever that provides services to the people of this country through the ministry, they can always do. But at the end of the day, it is money. money. Because government hasn't got enough money to do what? To pay suppliers who own, by their estimate yesterday, it was 100 million Ghana cedis. Huge amount. And for suppliers to come out to demonstrate, it means they are now frustrated and there's no any other way than to adapt a demonstration, which is a constitutional right. They have a right to demonstrate and to demand for payment of what they've done. You see, before this government took over power, I want to quote one statement by the president. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who said that every cedi that is stolen, a child is being denied education, a farmer is being denied fertilizer, a driver is not getting good roads, and the sick is left to die. I fear for Ghana. I am frightened about the future, and the NDC is building for the young people of this country. It's a future of indebtedness, a future of hopelessness. It is a wretched future being mercilessly created by a reckless government. The prospect of another 4 years for this scares me, and so it must scare you too. 12 straight years of the NDC would leave you, the young people of Ghana, with no future of note. The danger of such a future has already started. It can be seen in the fact that oil-producing Ghana had to run to the IMF for a bailout. The world just doesn't understand what is happening to Ghana, unquote by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Brilliant statement, and we thought that once he made this statement, when he can, he's going to adhere to every aspect of each of the words that he chose. What do we see? It is not just the food suppliers who are demonstrating. Bondholders are demonstrating. Pensioners who worked over 30 years and invested their money so that when they are on retirement, they can use that money to support their standard of living. They are also in arms. A former Chief Justice has joined them. A lot of business people. As I talked to you this morning, 1.3 million people of those who invested in bonds are suffering. 8.4 million people cannot get food to eat in a day. 850,000 people have slided into poverty. Do you get it?
Yeah.
And 2.4 million people, according to World Health Organization, have a lot of mental challenges because of some of these issues that confront suppliers. As we sit today, buffer stock people who supply food to even feed our students have not been paid. School feeding program is in tatters. You can go on and on. Contractors, road contractors at Cocoa Board, over 20 billion has not paid. Contractors of Get Fund projects have not been paid. Just name it, almost everything has come to a standstill. As we talked to you this morning, infrastructure is at all-time low since this government came. Yet they've taken over 411 billion as tax revenue. When you add what they borrowed, it's over 900 billion cedis. That money accrued to them to use to arrest some of these issues. And look, some of these suppliers took loans to do the suppliers to government. As we talk today, the cedi is 13 cedis plus. The dollar is 13 cedis plus. So whatever that they took 2-3 years down has been eroded. Inflation went so up and it's come to 23 thereabout. You understand? As we talked to you this morning, fuel is 14 cedis. Can you imagine the cost of living? Transportation is going up, rent is going out. The interest accumulation on people who took money to do the supplies, thinking that they'll be paid their monies, has gone and eaten up the capital altogether. They are running and hiding. They cannot have peace because this government has recklessly got money and spent it. Look, we come to the issues are murkier. Look, yesterday I was just hearing before the Public Accounts Committee, they had to pay 11.7 million to MS Power China to start the Palugo project. If they had done that, would have been a beautiful project. They've not started and they paid the money. $2.57 million has been paid to the contractor to do the initial roadway for the extension of the Tema motorway. It has not been that. This was captured at the public the Public Accounts Committee and so on. We can go on. Look at the amount of money they wasted on this Ajapa deal. Look at the amount of money they paid for the sky train and so on that never was. If you put all things together, and that wastage alone can renovate the Hill de Okomfanochi project that today, even containers that they've brought, tax alone has delayed. Yesterday I was reading Otumfo has given $5 million for that project to be done and so on. So if you look at the amount of money that goes waste, without not paying for services of Ghanaian business people who have rendered to the people of this country, then this country is in serious comatose and it needs rescue. So for me, it is not just tax. And when you just oppose that, my brother, this morning, against the fact that tax exemption to even foreign companies, tax exemption, listen to me, it runs into millions of dollars. Centio Oil, 261 million tax exemption. B5, steel manufacturer, an Indian company, 11 billion. Do you get these things? And all these things go to foreign entities and so on. Pullman Hotel, you are aware, 24 million tax waiver for Pullman Hotel. That is still standing. It has not even gotten to the roof level and so on. If you put all this waste together, then you ask yourself, are we running a government that has the people at heart, that says so much to the people of this country? As we talked this morning, look, these suppliers, it is not just the supplier. If you're a supplier, you have workers under you. You know that you have workers, and you need to pay them. You need to take care of your household and so on. So once you've not paid the suppliers, the workers under them are also reeling under heavy poverty, heavy hardships, handed over because of reckless spending. And this reckless spending, it has now come to play, because when you look at the chairman of the Finance Committee in Parliament, Honorable Kwatin, has told us that, look, the issue of COVID and Ukraine only sped up the processes to where we are today, because that there's no way you could borrow and spend recklessly, not into investment that will not lead you to this. And the World Bank, the IMF, I think Kristalina Georgieva or something, also said that we overspent. You see, they were spending as if there's no tomorrow, starching of money away as told by Kennedy Agyapong and so on and so forth. Even members of this government sometimes are shocked when revelations come out to what is happening under the watch of the President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. Look at our energy sector and so on. Almost every contractor supply is being owned by this guy. Cumulative is huge, absolutely huge. And we you see, when they do that and you are talking to them, instead of them to show humility and begin to talk some things that will suit the angers of the people, they begin to be so belligerent, so disrespectful, arrogant towards the people of this country.
Some progress.
It is not about making progress. That's why I told you, what is the rate of the city? Just suppose if you are done supply for 1 million Ghana cedis, and look at the rate of this, compare. It's nothing to write home about. What is the cost of cement today? What's the cost of things that supply the cost of material? Cost of all those things, it has quadrupled. So you look at it, are they going to pay them with the current rate? Look at interest rates at the banks and so on. So it is not an issue of they've made an effort or they've paid some. Those demonstrators are reasonable human beings. They reason. They know what is there. Sometimes when you speak to the traders, Guta, you name them, they know what they do. And when they do the analysis, you would marvel that these are people you think they are sitting. They do critical analysis and tell you what will benefit and even suggest some ways to them and so on. These are our people. These are people who have suffered. Some of them cannot even meet their daily expenditure and so on. People are completely cutting down. Look at the cost of food inflation, the cost of food and so on. So you put all this together, put fuel. Now we said that we've been told that because of they are doing gold for oil. But interestingly, the gold for oil and then the OMCs that take this oil, they have the highest prices. Why you just suppose the prices out there? The highest prices are oil, the highest prices are all the institutions that will take the gold for. So the policies they come and do these things, you don't know where they conjure their policies from. Whether they are not tested, whether they just think that let's do that for Ghanaians, we don't think or what. Sometimes it can be mind-boggling, and that is happening here when they knew all the problems before they came. Look at the solutions that Dr. Bawumia preferred to almost everything in this country. From archaeology to, so he knew everything. We are not going to borrow to do anything. We are going to toll the roads to do roads. Today, where are the roads? His own guy got stuck. Because the road that he was passing to go and do his campaign was not good. And so on. We are not going to do that. We are not going to do that. It is lazy man job from taxation to production. You never produce one grain. From here, you are going to you have arrested the city dollar, you have given the key to the IGP. Sloganeering government up to today, the people of Ghana cannot. We've become a source of mockery in the international world. People quote us. And I remember this woman, Dr. Nkonjo Obiela, the Director General of World Trade, yes, said that, look, Ghana's case is a sad one, and do not pray that any government should get to that. You can look at how we've become a mockery all over the world and so on.
Okay.
So these are facts, and government should be candid with the people. The people are really suffering. Even when you look at, you saw the issue that came with the buffer stock, that there were some companies that were selecting and paying and so on. You want to tell you that it is the free HSS. The free HSS, the cost as done by Education Watch, you saw it. Parents are even paying more than one were even paying and so on. I didn't do those research. It has not been disputed by the Ministry of Education and so on. But how can you even dispute it when I am sitting here, my child is in school, and they just came home. Yeah. If they are going, I will not cough anything less than 2,005 each anytime they are going back to school.
Okay.
And disgraceful, I saw one of the MPs saying that his child is in which school and he doesn't. What you see, when you do that to us, it's so painful that we are all part of the Parent-Teacher Association, and schools send us. They send us text messages, and on the platform, what we have to do to support the schools go out. Then when you get MPP communicator, they come and tell you that their children are in such and such school, and they are not going through that. What I tell now, we are liars in this country.
Okay, very well. Honorable Samuel.
Well, let me first say good morning to your viewers, especially the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I was listening to your sister station, Adom FM in Manka, when coming. And the people of Western North and part of Western region, Eastern Ashanti, are hailing the president for increasing the cocoa price by more than 58% this year.
Only
this season, the cocoa price has been increased twice. First, it was increased to 1,300 cedis, and today, this week, it has also been increased to 2,070 per bag, which farmers are very, very, very happy. Today I was listening to some of the farmers online, and in fact, they are appreciating the government, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government, for that increase. And the government has assured the farmers, the cocoa farmers, that anytime the world price goes up, they will see another increment before even the end of the year. Let me also say hi to the Vice President, the next President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. When you look at, because we are talking about education, when you look at Dr. Bawumia's 70-point agenda that he delivered when he was giving his speech at the UPSC, the first 3 points that he made was concerning education, and I just want to seek your indulgence to read it. He said, a growth mindset curriculum to help students build critical skills such as problem solving, risk-taking opportunity, sporting, and design thinking. You see, he has promised to change our educational system and continue from where Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will be living in 7th January 2025, and turn it in such a way that before you come out from school, you will be skillful. If government is not prepared to employ you, or if there's no opportunity for government to employ you, you will be able to do things on your own. Just like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government started this TVET program, he's want to expand it into our universities, our technical universities, so that before you come out, you have the employable skills that could be employed by the private sector, or you can't also work on your own by what we call self-employment. Point 2, he said, enhance the repositioning of education system towards STEM. You see, now Akufo-Addo started a STEM, robotic, artificial intelligence, and vocational skills to cope with the demand of the fourth industrial revolution. Now, the way the world is going, if you don't go this way, if you don't look at the robotic nature of education, if you don't look at the AI, the artificial intelligence, you come out from school and you can't do anything. So Nana Akufo-Addo started it, this STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. He's coming to increase it, to update it, so that when you come out from school, you can easily employ yourself. Expand, that is number 3. Expand the medical schools as well as Ghana Law School to support an increase in admission for students for medical and legal studies. Look, we always talk about the brain drain. That when we train our graduates become doctors, lawyers, engineers, they leave Ghana for greener pasture. You can't stop it.
It's still
what
happening.
is happening? So what he intends to do is that he will expand the infrastructure for law. You know, now the Jimpa is doing law. Even private university like Wisconsin is doing law. Most of them. So the intention is to increase it. Now we have about 6 or 7 medical schools in this country. It's going to expand the facilities, infrastructure in those universities so that we can train more doctors. So even when others leave, of which at the end of the day, it is going to benefit the country, because if you're a doctor in Ghana and you leave to Canada, US, UK, wherever that you go, definitely you will also bring money home, which is going to support and improve our economy. So the intention is to train more people so that when others leave, we'll still have enough to take care of us here. So that is what Dr. Bawumia intends to do when voted into office as president. Inshallah, that will also will come on. Now, let's look at what happened 3 days ago when suppliers, the former finance minister, Dr. Ken Ofori-Atta, said it, that we are in economic crisis. The president has admitted it. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has also admitted the fact that, yes, we have challenges in our economy. I was listening to the former finance minister, Mr. Tepe. He said, you cannot run an economy continuously for 5 years without having crisis. Either it will be an internal crisis that will hit your economy. It could be an external crisis that will hit your economy. So what we need to do always is to build shocks. You see, those of us in the automobile engineering field, when you build a vehicle, we have shock absorbers that when you are riding on a very smooth road, definitely one day will come that you have to go on a rough road. So the shock absorbers will be there to absorb the shocks for you. We call it the vibration dampers. So also when you are managing an economy, there's a need for you to have these vibration dampers. When you go to rough road, you can absorb the vibration. So definitely you have such crisis. So once we have admitted that there are some crises, it affects every corner of the economy. As my brother said, it's issue about money. If you hear that teachers are on strike, it's because they are making certain demands, government in the money wasn't readily available. So we have to sit down, negotiate with them, and see how we can meet them halfway. And indeed, just last week, the teachers were on strike. They sat down, we did some negotiation, they have returned to the classroom, and we are moving on. So also, these suppliers have also come. Actually, it's unfortunate that they came at the point that the ministry was just about to pay them. Because when they came yesterday, they had discussions with the Ministry of Education. I learned the Director of Finance and Administration was here with them, the Deputy Minister, and we have made an arrangement that by this Wednesday, some of them, if not all of them, are going to receive some payments. Up to, I think, 2022 payments. Then they will sit down and have 2023 and beyond. And listening to them, I think they've accepted the fact that, yes, they wait for the ministry and see by Wednesday, if they are not paid, they've given the ministry up to Friday that they will come back. My prayer is that the Ministry of Education should keep their hours and do the payment by Wednesday or Friday as being scheduled with them. And the information that I have from the ministry show clearly that the money is really available and they are going to receive payment. So these things definitely will come
But why do we always wait for people to just go on protest before?
Well, because as I said, the economy has some challenges, and we have all admitted that. So you can't get the money always available. But
so these are money that have been raised based on the protests that happened?
Not the protest. The money has been raised. The reason why they've waited until the protest may be lack of communication between maybe the ministry and the suppliers. Because indeed, if the money is ready and it will be paid by Wednesday, I don't understand why they should go for demonstration. If they were aware that indeed there's some money there that could be paid to them by Wednesday. So I will attribute that to lack of communication between the ministry and the suppliers. Right. So I will use this opportunity also to appeal to the ministry that when such situations are there, you can even set up a 3-member committee to liaise with the suppliers and be updating them on information as when payment is going to be made, when you have money, when Ministry of Finance have released money to you. They should be in the know so that if they know that, oh, I've gone for a loan to do supply A, B, C, D, and with time, I should wait because by Wednesday, I'm going to receive some payment. So if this information is being made available to the demonstrators, I don't think they will go out there demonstrating. So we should work hard, especially the ministries and then the civil servants at the various ministries should work hard to update their suppliers so that we can avoid some of these demonstrations. We are in election year and nobody is happy to see some of these things. Once the money is there, why shouldn't you communicate to them? Why should you wait for them to start demonstrating before you tell them that, oh, I have money, I can pay you by Wednesday? We all admit that there are some challenges that we are trying to. That is why we've gone to IMF for a bailout. So definitely some of these things, demonstrations, picketing, you will see them. The good news is that when they come, we get a good solution for them. My brother was always quoting Kweku Kwating Honorable, who happens to be the chairman for the Finance Committee in Parliament. He was making a statement. I don't know why he has taken a portion of a whole statement that he made and ran with it. The man was making a sense that the situation in which we find ourselves, talking about the financial crisis, nobody can say that it's only Russia and Ukraine, but it is the way we have managed the economy as a country. And he was not emphasizing the MPP government. He was talking about governments from the Fourth Republic. If you follow the process, Kufuor came and there was an issue about 128% to GDP. That was our debt stand when he came. So he had no space to borrow. He has no space. He couldn't even pay the debtors. So the option for him is to go for how do you call it? Aye-Paye, right? And then Aye-Paye, he was able to go through the process and left our debt to GDP to 26% to GDP. So when he left at 26%, it means we had over 74% space to run our economy. The NDC came in 2009 and they borrowed 30 percentage points. Even when we came in 2017, debt to GDP was 73%. It was the rebasing that brought it to 56%. So even if I want to work with the after rebasing, which moved from 73% to GDP, but look at this: if the debt to GDP was 26% and you move to 73% to GDP, subtract 26 from 73, and you know what they left behind. It was a rebasing that brought us back to 56%. But even if I want to work with the rebasing, look at 26% or 56%, and you subtract 26%, you get what? 30%. So they added 30%. So the Honorable Kweku Kwating was talking about taking it from Kufuor, 26%. Recklessly, you added 30 percentage points, leaving debt to GDP to 56%. I was in Parliament then, and the late Dr. Kutuwa was sitting right in front of me. When Professor Mills Mahama administration were bringing loans upon loans to Parliament. I once asked him, are we expecting any oil boom? How can we pay this? How can we service this debt? Because they turn a whole Parliament into a loan approving institution. And some of us were lamenting, why? Why are you borrowing so much? Tomorrow they say we are borrowing for this, we are doing that for this. Well, it's for a project. But the question is, once you are doing that, don't forget that it will come to a point you hit 100%, like before met 120%. It will then be very difficult for you to manage. So when we also came in 2017, it was so hard so much that some of the loans they went with were so expensive. When we say a loan is expensive, it means the interest rate is too high, some as high as 32%. So what we did is that as soon as we came in 2017, we had another facility, what about loan facility, which is less expensive. For instance, the NDC borrow at 32%. And somebody come and say, I can give you 7%, I can give you 10%. So quickly, the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, went in for 2.5 billion, if you could remember that loan. It was cheaper than when the NDC left. So we used that $2.5 billion to offset some of the expensive loans they've gone for it. I'm very sad when my MPP government, when MPP communicators can't explain to Ghanaians that the $2.5 billion that we borrowed in 2017 when we first took office, part of it, a chunk of it, was used to offset the expensive loan the NDC have gone to borrow. You know, when they are trying to calculate how much MPP have borrowed, they add this $2.5 billion. They converted into current exchange rate and say that, you've borrowed 600 billion Ghana cedis. Forgotten that about 2 billion of the 2.5 billion that we borrowed were used to offset expensive loan they've gone to take so that it will be manageable. I was the chairman for Roads and Transport Committee. When I took over as a chairman, the former Roads Minister, Honorable Fuseni, has used the road fund to borrow money from UBA at the rate of about 32% interest rate. When we came, we couldn't, because about 60 to 70% of the proceeds from the road fund was used to service that loan. So Honorable Amoakpata called a meeting with the roads committee and said, this is what we saddle ourselves with, and we can't do anything. We have to go to Ghana Commercial Bank to pick another loan to offset
the one that is
one that's been borrowed, for them to give us extension of about 10 or 15 years, so that we can use, instead of 60%, we can use 40% to service the loan, so that there will be some space for us, because the road fund was mainly the core function, the core reason why we set up the road fund was for periodic road maintenance and repairs. Periodic road maintenance and repairs. So if you use 60% of the proceeds to take loan and use to finance major road infrastructure, it means you are depriving the periodic maintenance and repairs of roads. So at the point, the reasons why we have the road fund. So it came to a point that when you are driving on Ghana roads, a lot of potholes, even those one-man contractors who were just weeding grasses for us along the side of the roads, were not being paid. Why? Because we've used the road fund, which is meant for such purpose, for major road infrastructure, which shouldn't have been the case. So we have to go and borrow from Ghana Commercial Bank to offset these loans. So when they are talking about, they have a term they use, reckless management of, they should consider that management, if it is reckless, as they've mentioned, from 2009, that we saw this borrow. You see, my brother, we have reduced governance in this country as a method or the process of borrow money to sponsor infrastructure projects. Governance go far beyond that. Because if as I sit here, if governance is about giving money or taking loan from a bank to finance an infrastructure, then everybody can be president. As I sit here, can't I do that? Can't you do that? That give me loan. You go to a bank for a loan. Then you use the money to sponsor Ataboadey. You use the money to sponsor second interchange. Most of these projects are even thank-you projects. Thank-you projects, government virtually does nothing.
Okay.
All what you do is that you give them, how do you call it, the Minister of Finance will give you, I forgot the name. What?
Counterpart funding.
Not counterpart funding. The approval for you, for a company, if a company wants to construct a project, you say, I'm going for my own loan. Sovereign guarantee. So the Minister of Finance will sign and give you sovereign guarantee. Then the company will go for its own money, its own contractor. It comes for Parliament for approval, and the contract is done. 10 key, you'll be there, and the government, the key will be given to you as government. Everybody can do it. Governance goes beyond that.
Okay.
Governance, just before I end, governance goes beyond just giving sovereign guarantee to companies to construct for you. Governance is about sitting back and find out how can Ghanaians get free healthcare. So let me introduce national health insurance. Governance says that people can't pay school fees. So what is it? Let me introduce Get Fund to support school infrastructure, to support education, to give scholarship. That is governance. Governance says that people sit on trucks that brings cars from Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. So when they come here, we can't even know our population and plan towards it. Governance say, let me introduce national identification card so that we know who is a Ghanaian and who is not a Ghanaian, so that we can manage. Governance is about having free senior high school. Let me empower human resource so that every child will at least have a free senior high school. If you want to terminate your education, not GHS, at least you have to go to senior high school.
Very well.
That is governance. Governance is about looking at how we can increase our revenue.
Okay.
As Dr. Bawumia has promised, that I'm going to use digitalization at auditing to make sure that monies that leaks at GRA will stop, because auditors coming in a robotic manner. In a manner in which money
we need to move on. We need to move on to our next.
That is governance.
Let me say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Newsflash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. We say that we have Nokia, Samsung, we have iPhones that we're giving out, we're selling that you can come and buy. These are very quality phones that you can buy from us. If you need an air condition for your home, for your businesses, for your offices, you can actually come and grab one for yourself. Now, these days, it's very difficult for you to monitor people who come and leave your offices, especially when you're not around. But you can do so anywhere you find yourself. You can monitor at any time as well. And you can actually get a CCTV camera from Franco Trading Enterprise to do that. Don't forget that you can call us on 0555-939-311 or 0246-422-388. And also do well to go on our app, Franco Trading app, and you're good to go. Please do not pick any number on Google to do business with those as comments. So you can do so on our website, www.francotrading.com. And those are places we can actually contact us. We're giving you 40% discount on prices on accessories you buy from us as well. So please do well and come check us out. You would really appreciate the fact that we're giving you quality, all right? Franco Trading Enterprise says, phone papa pafi. Now we're going to move on to our next topic.
Oh, you
and,
let me.
Honorable, see, we've got 20 minutes. We've got 20 minutes.
Yes.
And I'm not.
I use 15 minutes and you use 20 minutes.
No.
I use 15 minutes, you use 20 minutes.
Our next topic. So there was over the weekend there was a demolition, an allegation of a demolition of a 10-story building from at Jungano. We're going to take a look at that conversation as well. Yesterday, there were so many talks about it. We'll be speaking to some of the parties involved to find out exactly what the situation looks like. And then I'll get some comments on that as well. Which one? Can I do the comments before I go to that conversation? Okay, so let me get some few comments and then
I also have comments.
This one says, I think I like the MPP. I like this MPP man. He understands the issues and is doing justice to them. MPP needs such people to explain to Ghanaians where we came from and where we are now. Kudos to him. Greetings to Honorable Solomon Namlet Boa, the NPP PC for Bungurugu, Mr. by Matuk Faikop from Bimbagu sent in that one. Honorable, is it anywhere around your area?
No. This is in Northern region.
Okay. Mr. Host, my question is very simple. What legacy did John Mahama leave in the education sector during his tenure as president? Amino in Isawem is asking that question. And this one says that as the train arrived in Nigeria, I take train to work. Why not Ghana? This government of NPP. So live. Oh, ours have arrived. Oh, the first batch has arrived. Are you aware of that? Good morning, KMJ, the panelists. Please ask the MPP man what did what they did to Esla, get fund, etc. It seems the man is shooting himself right in the foot, because no government in the Fourth Republic have borrowed more than this current government. It's a shame that these NPP folks think Ghanaians are zombies. UK one at Ataboadey who sent in that one. And this one says, good morning, KMJ. Honorable Aye is struggling to point something nice, but that is not the true situation on the ground, especially on the education. Though he's trying to use history to solve a current mess, but still, in fact, the fact is there are unemployed graduates, teachers, and nurses. Capitation of basic schools are in arrears for more than years, yet get fund and scholarship secretariats are awarding scholarship to unneedy beneficiaries. Greetings to Honorable Timothy, and WMGA and Akuse sent in that as well. Let me get some of the messages from here. KMJ, good morning. Please ask Mr. Aye-Paye, it's not pay, to mention the loan which the NDC borrowed at 30 plus percent.
But I made mention one.
Yes, no. That's what I wanted to.
Let's also tell us what they have done with Gut Fund, the Gut Fund that you mentioned, etc. They have collateralized, or has this government not also borrowed, as he's accusing the NDC? Kobana Mensah in Accra sent in that one. This one over here says, Dr. Baolaya will say anything to win votes. For him, lying for votes is a smart thing to do. One district empty warehouse, one village dry dams, free expensive SHS, and many more such lies. Ghanaians have washed up. Patrick in Accra sent in that. This one here says that, okay, so Awuga K. Jalali says, imagine your father is a teacher and your brother is a road contractor and they haven't been paid for 6 months. How will they take care of their wife, children, and family? Our leaders should put in mind that it's our kokromoti who help them to reach where they are now. Some of these leaders should set aside greediness and let us all take Ghana to the promised land, you meant to say. NPP government have increased cocoa price because we are in the election year. These people are very smart, and I'm asking if they didn't win these elections, will cocoa price still be stable in Ghana for your farmers? I'm enjoying the show at Volta region. Fiada Yimba, okay. I'm not Fiada Yimba, 26 April is my father, Mr. Samuel Mausi funeral here. Okay, condolences to the entire family. And let me get to the next one over here. This one wrote a very long one. It says, good morning to you. According to report, a man in Shukura approached a passerby and begged for money out of kindness. The passerby offered the man some money without realizing the sinister intentions behind the so-called beggar's request. To the shock of the passerby, the moment he handed over the money, his penis reportedly shrank in size. The bizarre incident left the victim understandably distressed and in need of medical attention. However, instead of receiving the necessary medical treatment, the victim found himself in police custody. It's unclear why the victim was detained by the authorities, but the fact that he was not immediately taken to the hospital raises questions about the handling of this peculiar case. Meanwhile, the perpetrator of this heinous act is also in police custody, awaiting justice for his actions. Aaron Babakoko Commissioner sent in that one. So the IGP has released a statement on that issue of missing pennies and all that. You understand that they said they were all false claims, and so hopefully we'll be able to get some clarity on that. Now, Freddie Blaze should not joke with, okay, so please tell the MPP man the price of cocoa in Togo is 300% higher than that of Ghana. He should therefore stop asking noise, stop making noise with cocoa prices. Vincent Kante from Keze sent in that one. 300%.
It's not true.
Okay, so I'll come back to the messages. Let me move on to the other issues, and then we'll come back to the messages that we have to continue with that. So Ben actually speaks for Mr. Oti Bonsu, whose building were actually pulled down over the weekend with the allegations of Abu Ramadan. Now, let me speak to you and find out clarity on some of the things that have gone on so far. Ben, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm very well. Can you speak up a bit for me, please?
Very well.
Great. Thanks for making time for us this morning. So, as at over the weekend and now, what exactly has this case resulted into in terms of the demolition of the buildings, the 10-story buildings by Mr. Oti Bonsu?
We are witnessing complete lawlessness at the highest peak, especially in the 21st century and where development has got into in Ghana. The least we expect a state-sponsored raiding like what was done, demolition over 10 complete houses in this economic situation. It's unheard of. It's something we must bemoan and not encourage at all. And as we speak, we're still counting our losses.
How did it all happen? How was the demolition exercise done? Was it legitimate? Was it enforced by courts? Or what exactly happened during that demolition process?
Now, this demolition was done on Sunday dawn, Sunday at 2 a.m. with the company of police and military. What should interest everybody is that these policemen who took this exercise removed their name crest from there, so you cannot even identify them by name. The vehicles they brought there, most of them had their number plates removed. And we all know that the courts do not carry out execution exercises on Sunday, let alone to demolish somebody's property. So this is what happened to us, and we will keep saying, and once we know what we know, that when you have political actors who feel that they have power, and for that matter, they will take everybody for a ride because they have got political power, then that is where we will arrive. It will interest your listeners to know that we followed the vehicles that undertook this demolition as far as the 37 traffic light and beyond, and it was headed towards the Jubilee House. Now, at the time we got there around 2:30 a.m., I think that I was told the president was having a birthday ceremony, and that was the time they were firing the firecrackers into the air. So this was done at the full glare of everybody, seizing the phone of the workers, traumatizing them, some of them being slapped, and what have you.
Some of the workers over there were slapped?
Yes, some of the workers were abused by these military people.
And what was the reason for abusing them?
No reason. They realized that they were going to place calls to the owners of the property for us to rush to the place. And before we could get there, they had voted. We had to follow up, monitor them. But you see, all these bookings were done. When you go to the police station, they saw them. So they had booked in their records that this number of cars containing military and policemen were seen passing at East Legon police station. So it's not anything that is hidden. And the perpetrators of this act are people that can be known because there are cameras all over the streets, unless the state wants to tell us that the cameras on the streets are not functional. This is what we have suffered. Earlier on, the reason why Mr. George Otibonso, who is a known personality in this government, laid down his tools and was quiet, waiting for the party structure to delve into this matter and brought finality to it, was that President Kufuor, he reported the matter to ex-President Kufuor, who asked tasked Fred Owari to delve into the matter to see who was behind this. And lo and behold, it was Abu Ramadan, who happens to be the NADMO guy, said they are going to use the place for their family house.
And that was the reason why they brought the entire building. If I'm
lying, then Fred Owari should be the one telling the lie then.
So that's the reason why they brought allegedly they brought the entire buildings down at the place.
Yes. Saying that they have a judgment from the circuit court. But it will interest your listeners to know that the same subject matter, the same parties with their grantors are in the High Court over the same landed property. The High Court have got rulings that the circuit court cannot be seen to be meddling in the matter that the High Court is dealing with. So the question is, the High Court and the Circuit Court, whose orders might be obeyed? Which has higher jurisdiction or higher grounds to deal with matters. Who must listen to who? These are legitimate questions we need to ask. Before you can carry out such execution, you must be accompanied by a court bailiff. The courts do not work on Sundays. So which court bailiff accompanied these perpetrators to have come there at 2 a.m. to pull down the structures?
Okay. Before we let you go, what's the way forward now? What are we doing?
So we are people who respect the laws. We'll go back and keep respecting the laws and make sure that we follow this matter to its logical conclusion. Whoever is involved in this matter, nobody is bigger than the laws of this country. They must be brought to book. The people whose name has been mentioned, right from the First Lady's office, Second Lady's office, through Abu Ramadan, they have not come out to even dispute the fact. All we hear them say and post is that they have got a ruling from the circuit court which gives them legitimacy over the property. But what they are failing to tell people is that there are rulings from the High Court which also give us the go-ahead to develop the property. So who do we listen to?
All right, Ben, thanks for making time for us this morning. We're going to follow up again as and when any other information comes up with regards to that issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. So these were allegations of, a story building that were pulled down over the weekend. Now, as of yesterday, there were too many issues, very heated arguments that have come up from the High Courts in Tema to the Circuit Court in Adenta and all of that. And so we needed to find some clarity on that. Honorable, let me start with you. We've got a very limited time to do this.
Oh, very interesting topic, and the time is limited. You see, in this country, things are getting crazy. Who in his right sense, even if the land is yours, you watch and the buildings go to roofing level, then you go and pull them down with an order from a circuit court? Or is that judge not aware that a senior court, for that matter, the High Court, had the rule on the matter? Are you telling that the judge, because when you appear before a judge, you must make all the facts known. Is that circuit court judge telling us? Because from the High Court, you move to where? Appeal court. And to the Supreme Court. You don't go backward. That's not how justice is done. That's why I would say justice emanates from where? From the people. And justice is done in the name of the people. Where on earth, assuming that even KMJ, that's your land, and I go to build up to that stage, the only reasonable thing for you to do is for you to negotiate, and I'll pay you, and then you get another. You can even get the same thing. If at that time you want to get that, it's 100,000, and at the time I bet it was 50,000, I'll give you $100,000 to go and acquire. Does it make sense? That look, these houses are providing employment. They are providing income. People are invested. We don't know the source of how the fellows suffered and got this money to do this. We go and pull down with a circuit court order. Even in any case, when such court rule, there's a tendency for the opponent to go higher and higher until the issues end. In any case, why don't we tackle the issues of the root cause of this? It's madness to continue to see people who have pumped their capital into projects like this. That you pull them. Do you know the trauma you are giving to the family or the investor because of political attache, political shenanigans? I have people at the Flaster House, the powerhouse. Let me use state security. Let them guide me to pull it down. What do you gain from it? You see, there was one time my son.
The Honorable, wrapping up.
Just 1 minute.
We don't have.
During our time, there were some houses that were being Aye-Paye. At some place like that, then my son, he was even in primary school. He was watching the TV and saw the thing and called the mother.
Atomic.
I think Atomic also.
That were pulled out at Atomic.
I think.
We'll have a look at it.
Yes.
People have built churches. And
I'm coming.
places.
I'm
What
not
were
even.
the essence,
I'm
the
even.
sense in pulling down those.
I'm even just telling you what the small boy said. That time he was not even in jail. You know, the boy watched and called the mother. When the mother came, he told asked the mother, "Which party are you?" The mother said, "Oh, why did you ask that question?" That he wants to know. The small boy asked the mother that he wants to know. The mother asked him, "Why do you want to know?" That he is not going to vote for John Mahama. Then the mother asked why. That how can people suffer and build their houses and they'll be pulling it down? And then the mother said, it's not that, it's that, but he's the president, he should stop it. You see, the ball was not even up to JSS, but that was the pain that even kids, when they look at our actions at this age, is so painful that, look, the matter must be resolved, and those found culpable. It is interesting that even a private institution can sometimes act on behalf of government. You remember there was this guy who goes around taking government land, that he would take it with the help of the police and the military, and then he would give some to them and keep it. You know, it came on TV4, and so on. Have we lost it? Land guards are taking over people's land, and so on. Where are we heading towards?
Okay, Honorable, let me take 1 minute from you. Unfortunately, my time.
Brother,
but this is your MPP.
Yeah. If you look at some of these things, if we keep doing MPP and this things will continue. Because we have something we call housing deficits. So if this house is 10, each is going to occupy 5 people. It means 50 people are going to have accommodation. This one, I will put the blame right on the doorsteps of the judges who handle the case. I've seen on several occasions a judge has drove to a place to see that, no, looking at this building, though the house is not, the land is not for you, it's for you. I'm not going to allow you to pull it down. I want to ask one question. Did the judge who gave the judgment went to have a look at the building, or he sat at his court and took a decision? Because even in this case, government can confiscate, because something compulsory acquisition. Government can acquire the land from the owner, whether the owner be A or B.
Even with the structures on
that
it.
I have done something that we call compulsory acquisition. I'm given this building, I've paid you, go. The buildings are for you, I've paid you. The land is for you, I've paid you. I'm taking over the property and house our military or
our police,
officers.
Even nurses, teachers.
Because look at what I've gone
essential
into
workers.
that. Who gave approval for those things to be pulled out? Because I've also seen judgment yesterday. I from the quarters of those who pulled the building down, they also have some form of justification. They brought up judgment they have received. I'm not a lawyer, so I will not know at what extent should the building be pulled down. Is it that as soon as we have judgment, you can go and pull a building down? That is not the case.
That is not the case.
That is not the case. So judges, I beg, when it comes to such litigations, especially land, they should walk to the place and have a look at it too. Why, if you know the land is for you, why should you wait for the buildings to develop to this level? Though
from foundation.
They say 10-story building. This is not 10-story building.
Where they building?
This is like 10-story houses. When you say 10-story building, it means one street building. So the judges should have gone there to find out. 2, Lands Commission. I'm trying to register a piece of land I bought at Taifa for more than 10 years now. You go, you hit it, you come right and say go left, you go left and say go to land tax register.
So we can't solve that problem.
And are you saying we cannot solve such problem? For all you know, I've also listened to the one who builds on the land. He said, I bought the land from a family, and I went to check at the Lands Commission. The family was still having ownership. Look, I've bought a land 10 years ago. If you do the search, I've paid the owner, they've given me the indenture, I've sent the indenture, I've gotten my yellow card. If I do search at land title registry, the guys who sold the land for me still have ownership per the land registry.
What is the land?
So when they also do that, when they find out that still you have not been able to register the land, then they sell it to another person. And these things must stop. You see, we can accuse and politicize it at the way we want it. But the question is that, can't government use compulsory acquisition to acquire the property and give it to the police and pay the owners for them to go away?
Instead of going into this,
why
what do they want
looking
to
for
build?
loan? We are still looking for loans to build more houses. Look, they went atomic, as he rightly said. Somewhere in 2015 or 14 or so, they pulled some building structures, huge. They pulled them down. Today, they've given it to. Some went to court. Those their buildings were pulled down. They went to court. They won the case. Government have to compensate them because government has given that portion of land to the chiefs, back to the chiefs by law. And the chiefs have sold them to some individuals. They've gone to build. Then Atomic Energy Commission went to pull those buildings down. Those who bought the land from the chiefs went to court, and indeed government has released the land to them. So government ought to compensate the landowners. So we are throwing money away. We are
As for
throwing
today,
money away.
as for
Let
today,
us
my
be very
producers will
careful
kill me. That
in terms of
I'm sorry. You guys will have to forgive me. I've taken
You don't
too
bring
much
huge
time.
topics and bring out a few can
I
do
know.
propaganda.
I know. I've taken.
This is-
have a
this-
limited
this is what
time.
propaganda have right
Now, I'm
now.
not even
Forgive
talking
me.
about
propaganda have borrowed.
borrowing.
Let's say a big thank you to
In a situation that we've gone to borrow too expensive, that we can't do anything about it, that we get a cheaper rate.
Call us on 0246422338 05559393. Honorable, 0555939311. Franco Trading app is also available on Google Play Store. Please go there and download. And you can visit our website www.francotrading.com. We've got tabletop fridges. Oh, honorables. No. Nokia and Samsung phones. That'll be our conversation for today, please. Thank you so much for coming. The next is what's trending. Stay with us.
A junk economy that comes.
Was brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise.